Hey everybody, thanks for listening to the El Toro's podcast, exclusively now on Anchor.fm. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Here, let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on things like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast, which is always a plus, with no minimum listenership. And it's everything you need to make a podcast right at your fingertips and in one place. I can't believe it took me this long to switch over to Anchor.fm, but I couldn't be happier now. So, get yourself started and download the free Anchor app now, or go to Anchor.fm to get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of El Toro's podcast. I'm your host, El Toro. I hope everyone is doing okay today. Today is Tuesday, April the 14th of 2020. And on the east side of the United States, specifically in New York, I am very content and happy that we are graced with some sunlight today. For those of you who live in the East Coast and specifically around the New York, New Jersey tri-state area, y'all know what we went through yesterday. It was fucking crazy. For those who don't, let me give you a little bit of a story. So we've been having some very interesting weather, to say the least, in New York. Now, normally around this time in April, we tend to get a little bit of winds, mainly rain. There's a saying that goes, April showers bring May flowers. So we've been getting our share with rain. And granted, we've been forgiven. We've had a pass on winter. This past year's winter wasn't as excruciating as several previous years have been. But we seem to be paying the price now, because what we didn't get as far as the winter, we have gotten in excess of rain and incredibly strong winds. When I say strong winds, I'm referring to winds up to 45, 50 miles an hour. So yesterday was pretty gloomy. It was pretty nasty. It got to the point as far as, unfortunately for me, because I work remotely from home, and I'm here in my computer room, working away, and all of a sudden I start hearing drip, drip, drip. I'm like, all right, am I hearing the gutters outside? That's how bad it is. And I look over towards my left, and sure enough, far away from my computers, but still in the computer room, I'm getting a leak in the fucking ceiling. This shit should have been fixed months ago. But apparently, because of the high winds and the incredibly strong torrential rains we have been getting, looks like the issue hasn't been solved. I had to reach out to my landlord, let him know, and I get the generic response that we'll have to wait until it gets dry so we can look at it. I'll call the roofer, which means that the only day dry this week is today. The next few days, we're going to have rain, and more rain. Fortunately, what I did this morning is I took a quick look at the 10-day forecast, approximate 10-day forecast based off of weather.com. Seems to be one of the most accurate ones that I go to. And I've gotten a little bit of an understanding on how to read the Doppler radar. So, yes, we are going to be getting rain within the next few days, but we're not supposed to be getting the winds that we were getting. So I'm hoping and I'm praying to everything that is holy and mighty up above and putting the word out to the universe that when it does rain, literally doesn't pour into my computer room. Because I'm going to be fucked with all the equipment that I have here. I have several laptops. I have a lot of hard drives. I have some thumb drives. I just got a new printer. I made this room really neat after almost about a year struggling just to try to get this room organized and set up for me to be able to not only work from home remotely whenever I needed to, which turned out to be coincidentally now, but also be able to not have to use the dining room table as my computer room. So yeah, between that and several issues of losing power, because I also lost temporarily power earlier in the day yesterday. And fortunately, at that moment, it came right back up, so it wasn't really too much of a big issue. I just needed to sign back onto the computer and log myself back on remotely. But I also had to deal with it later in the afternoon, around like 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. I lost power for a good 30 minutes. The power came back up as I was ready to clock out of work. Thankfully, I was able to put in all my time and save all the work that I've been doing. So let's see how that goes. But in any particular event, I hope everybody else is doing well. I really hope everyone is still continuing to do their social distancing. And if you haven't started, you better get on the ball right now and continue to do social distancing for those who have been doing it, because it seems like we're flattening the curve, which is a very good sign. That means we'll be able to nip this shit in the ass and be able to get back to our regularly normal routines. I was posting earlier today, and I was having a couple of conversations with a few people, that I'm now in a routine of actually just getting up at the same time that I've been getting up normally prior to this whole thing happening. The only difference is, instead of, getting wifey to the train station, getting the kids to where they need to go, daycare and school and whatnot, and then me coming back home to pick up my stuff and then commute into the city, and I have to make myself look all purty and stuff. That's the one step that I haven't had to do. I've been jeans, t-shirts, sweatpants, hoodies, So I've been able to conserve energy by not taking the extra step in having to make sure that all my nice clothes are ironed, pressed, ready to go. My shoes are shined so I can work in the city. I just slap on some pants because I can't exactly go out in boxer shorts. There's a visual for all of you guys. And t-shirts with pockets in it, in my pants to make sure that I'm carrying my keys, my wallet, the essentials. So a lot of my effort to grooming have not been put into place. Now, once a month, I usually shave, not my head completely, but I do pretty much what's known as a Caesar cut. It's kind of like called a military buzz cut. It's easier for me to maintain. I like it really short. This way I don't have to worry about it, and I don't have to get it styled. Once I see that my hair is starting to live up to its name of Toro, where on each side of the extreme ends of my head, the hair starts standing up like they were horns on a bull. Once I start seeing that, that's when okay, it's time to shave, do the Caesar cut, go into the bathroom, get my razor, and buzz cutter, I should say, and just start buzzing away. Every other day on a normal type of scenario, or scenario if you're an asshole, I would groom. I basically would shave. I would shave the whatever hairs that was coming out for the beard and the mustache. I have not touched my face, so the facial hair is growing quite crazily. If you guys are following me on social media, you probably may have seen an updated picture on Instagram with how I look right now. Seems like my boy, the Colossal Mike Law, is having a Lawson facial hair-ish thing going on with him as well. So if Mike Law, if you're listening, the suggestion, I haven't heard back from you as far as making us into a tag team. Call them the Lawson Beards or something. In any event, I digress. The world has become a very, very crazy place, and I'm hoping here with today's podcast it'll actually make things a little bit more livelier for all of you listening in. I know you guys tune in to listen to my rants on the product that is today a professional wrestling. The only product that seems to be going out there right now has been the WWE product and All Elite Wrestling product. I really, to be quite honest, since this whole thing with the COVID-19 has been happening, I haven't been keeping a close eye on the Impact Wrestling product and if they're actually doing any live taping, live matches or pre-taped matches and whatnot. So I honestly really don't know. So I know for a fact New Japan Pro Wrestling has ceased their live events. So we haven't pretty much seen a live event. They actually, I believe, put up the G1 Climax for free up on YouTube. So those who do not have the New Japan Pro World subscription like I do, and they want to check out the G1 Summit that took place, I believe, in Madison Square Garden, I encourage you guys to look them up on YouTube and check it out there. It's up. It's free. The entire event is there. And enjoy some New Japan Pro Wrestling. For those who actually have the subscription, y'all know that you can actually check out any previous things, any interviews, any of their documentaries. If you are able to understand Japanese, more power to you. Or if you just want to see previous matches, I recommend that you do your homework and check that stuff out. In my particular case, I had the World Wrestling Network subscription, WWN Live, that features a lot of Evolve and Shine events, along with a lot of their other basic ones. You can also purchase any other Shimmer events if you want through them. You can also purchase them off of Fight.tv if they have them online there. So I have plenty of wrestling that I can actually watch at any given time, right from the comforts of my Roku app, from my Android devices, if I can ever find one, mainly from my iPhone and iPad, and my Amazon Fire TV, which is great because I like doing my homework, like doing my research, and I just enjoy a really good wrestling match. So with that being said, I'm going to be also completely honest. It's been a while since I've actually caught up with a lot of AEW stuff, so I'm going to refrain from actually talking about a lot of the AEW results, simply because I have not seen it. The last thing I saw for AEW was the last pay-per-view when Jon Moxley defeated Chris Jericho to become the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And I haven't watched it since. So, the last pay-per-view event for the WWE was obviously WrestleMania, the 2 nights. So big that it has to be done in 2 nights, Saturday and Sunday. And I have to tell you, I wanted to give specifically about a week and change to not only let WrestleMania digest for everybody, but also allow everybody to be able to watch the Raw and the Smackdown after WrestleMania, because those are always the 2 biggest things that a person wants to watch right after WrestleMania. It's the Raw after Mania and the Smackdown after Mania. And both of them didn't disappoint. You guys saw the podcast about a week and a half ago about what my predictions were. What did you think? Hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Twitter. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down if you liked it. Which ones you agreed with, which ones you didn't agree with. Just questions, comments. As long as it's not death threats, I'm good. So, the latest news that's coming out of the WWE, which I'm still having a very, very hard time to process, is that the governor of Florida, well, what is this guy's name? Ron DeSantis? He has deemed that the WWE, pro wrestling taking place in Florida, is labeled as essential business. I'm trying to figure out how in the bloody blue fuck that happened. How essential is the World Wrestling Entertainment to be essential by any means? They are there are contractors. Oh God. They're independent contractors. Okay. They are not full-time employees of the WWE. Okay. They do not contribute to helping fight and combat the issue that we are currently experiencing, which is a global pandemic. And they have been labeled to be essential. Now, let me be clear about what I'm actually saying. The order was signed by the governor to the Florida governor, that the WWE is considered essential, but they can continue production of live tapings as long as only the essential staff that work with the company are there, meaning no live audience, but live tapings. And memory serves me right, Florida is not clear of the COVID-19. There are a huge number of people who have been affected with COVID-19 in the Florida area. And also, if memory serves me right, a person in the WWE was found to have contracted COVID-19. So stop me if you actually understand where I seem to be going through all this. This reminds me of Tim the Toolman Taylor of home improvement going, "Arr?" What? I can't, I cannot understand this shit. I have a theory. And all of you people who are listening are probably going to think this is a conspiracy theory. And I'm trying to stir something up. No, this is just my personal opinion, and you guys know that I will call it as how I see it. And I do not have any other information from anywhere that allows me to say this, but I'm just using pure logic. It's like, you have somebody like our current president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, who is very, very close friends with Vincent Kennedy McMahon, that has apparently provided him a loophole on how to make the WWE essential staff, simply because the WWE talent has contracts that require them to be able to do certain amount of live tapings a year. So now there's a technical loophole that can allow a talent to leave the WWE and not get penalized because of said contract. And because of this situation that's going on, which they're not allowed to actually have live tapings because of COVID, I'm having a feeling that somebody in the WWE, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, reached out to a buddy of his and the President of the United States, who, from what I heard, again, my opinion, only my opinion, is as corrupt as any crooked, corrupted official is, as is the governor of Florida, to work in a clause to deem the WWE as an essential business in the state of Florida to prevent the WWE talent from exiting their WWE contracts without any penalization. That's just my thought. Take it as you will. Take it up to the dirt sheets if you will. I'm just using a little bit of logic and a whole lot of resources online to actually read everything correctly as I see it. In either event, I'm kind of annoyed and pissed off that the WWE would actually put their talent at risk like that. They put their production, on staff, air, anybody, any freaking individual that works with the WWE at risk because of this shit. Now, I know for a fact that Roman Reigns asked not to be a part of WrestleMania because he's immunosuppressant. He's battled leukemia, he's in remission, but he doesn't have enough defenses to be able to fend off a cold, let alone something as serious as COVID-19. And they said, yeah, sure, not a problem. Okay, what does this do for him now? They're going to force him to come to a taping in Florida for this shit? See, now I'm a little concerned. I'm very, very concerned for a lot of the wrestlers, favorites or not favorites, everybody involved with the WWE. I'm extremely concerned. And what the WWE and the governor in Florida have done is not right, because now it's opened up a floodgate for other professional sports like the UFC and Major League Baseball and all these other places, although maybe not with the Major League sports venues like Major League Baseball, NHL, because they're unionized, but that's a different story. It opens up a floodgate to have other professional sport venues or sport promotions to begin or continue productions in Florida, specifically in Florida, or have them come out to Florida to do these productions, so as long as there's not an audience there. Just because there's no audience in there doesn't mean that somebody can contract it en route to said venue in Florida, or just walking to the corner to drop off your mail. Okay? here's a perfect example. There's a guy in the WWE who got fucking tested for COVID. And it was confirmed. There's news articles about it. And you're going to put your talent at risk like that? That's fucking ridiculous. I'm a little pissed. I'm a little annoyed about that whole stuff. But if that's the biggest issue I have as far as the WWE and right now what the governor of Florida is concerned. The entire thing with the taped matches for WrestleMania and then performing without a live crowd, I thought it was going to be really, really awkward. But I got to say, the talent in the WWE really, really did amazing. I was extremely happy and satisfied with every single match that was on the card. That includes the ones from the kickoff show. Those were done extremely, extremely well. The camera angles were used perfectly. It forced everybody to step up, and they did. And I am so fucking proud of every single talent that did WrestleMania. Hell, I was even impressed with Goldberg. And that's saying a lot. And I was even impressed with Lesnar. And that's saying a lot. So, my hat's off to the entire WWE roster, the production crew, the writers, everybody who was involved with nights 1 and 2 of WrestleMania. You guys all did a great job. I was thoroughly, thoroughly happy with what I saw. And the events for Raw and SmackDown, those were very entertaining as well. And I didn't catch them live. I just caught them off of Hulu. Yes, I have a subscription with Hulu, and I can see WWE Raw and SmackDown a day after they aired. So I was very, very satisfied with that, and I have no complaints for that. So everybody did a great job. Everybody was spot on. My hat's off to you guys, and I really hope that this situation that is happening right now at this very moment, you guys are you're gonna stay safe. Like, I'm very concerned for a lot of people that work in the WWE. A hell of a lot of them I know personally. They're friends of mine, and before anybody starts asking me, who are they? I ain't gonna tell you. There's a reason why they're my friends, because I keep I keep that information to myself. If you're not following me on social media and me actually commenting every once in a while on them, that's your loss, because I've dropped hints here and there with their okay. So I really don't know what else to say. Just stay safe out there, guys. Please take care of yourselves. The only other thing I want to add to this is, there's a lot of people out there that, unfortunately, because of the situation with COVID-19, a lot of people have lost their jobs. And a lot of my friends who are professional wrestlers are either struggling or just, in general, they're just struggling. It's you know the situation. I don't have to say how bad the situation is out there. So if you are one of the people fortunate enough that you still have a full-time job, you're still okay financially, you're doing well financially, not just okay, you're doing well financially, and you are able to help out any of the professional wrestlers, any of the valets, any of the managers, any of the promotions in independent professional wrestling. Notice I said the independent professional wrestling promotions. Please reach out to one of your favorite wrestlers on the indie scenes. Reach out to anybody that you know is a professional wrestler or owns a wrestling company or your favorite wrestling promotion, and buy a t-shirt. Buy an 8.5 by 11 autograph picture. Help them out. Even if an autograph is like $5, it's $5 that person didn't have and they can use towards something that they can definitely need. I'm blessed and fortunate enough that I still have a full-time job, that I am able to care for my family, care for all the expenses, the bills and whatnot. So I have reached out in ways that I can actually help out my fellow wrestling friends. And I understand where they're coming from. They say that they don't feel comfortable with letting me or anybody else buy anything for them if they're going through tough times. And I completely understand. If you're having a tough time, you do you. You focus on you. But if you're one of the fortunate people who still have a job, you're still getting paid, and everything is on the up and up, help them out. If they have a t-shirt store on Pro Wrestling Tees, Big Cartel, T Republics, buy a t-shirt. If they have autographs for sale, buy an autograph. I mean, every little bit will help them out, guys. Okay? I had composed a list of who I recommend that you guys can reach out to. But I've opted not to put that list up there because these people are my friends. I know them personally. I love them as my friends, and I love them as professional athletes. So, but my likes are not going to be the same as your likes. If you like, I'm just going to throw a name out there. If you like somebody like Proud and Powerful from AEW, and you want to support them by buying their t-shirts, go to ProWrestlingTees.com, buy a t-shirt of theirs. If you know somebody on the indie scene and you like their work and you're following them on Twitter, why don't you hit them up and find out, listen, I want to buy one of your t-shirts, or I want to buy an autographed 8.5 by 11. How can I do that? Reach out to them directly. Reach out to one of your favorite wrestlers. As long as they're not a part of the WWE, because, the WWE will have you buy t-shirts from WWE Shop Zone, or whatever it's called right now. And the talent only gets like maybe 5% of whatever the cost is. So if the t-shirt is worth $50, they're probably going to see $2.50 from that. So go to the indie scenes, go to Impact Wrestling, go to anybody who is in the independent scenes in your particular area. Go to NWA, because I know NWA, most of the money goes to the talent and to the staff and to the production crew and all that stuff. So it gets distributed correctly. And reach out to your favorite wrestler and ask him how you can actually get a t-shirt or an autographed picture. So guys, that's it for me. I hope you guys continue staying safe. And this is El Toro signing off. Love you guys. Be safe.